That's all you get.
All right. What's up, everyone? We are the Audio Amigos. This is our pilot episode. We're gonna go ahead and talk about why we felt the need to make a podcast. Is there enough room?
First, we should probably introduce ourselves.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I'm Jared.
Sam.
I'm Jackson.
And together we are the 3 Audio Amigos. And that's us.
Adios, amigos.
Okay, so reasons for starting the podcast. Personally, I felt like I wanted to do the podcast because I think that all 3 of us have a very interesting spin on a bunch of topics, like maybe news topics, music topics, and sports topics. All those we're like well versed in, and even when we're not well versed in them, we're still able to like make something like interesting or like have an interesting stance on them.
We have. We discussed this obviously before recording, and we realized that we have a lot of overlapping knowledge on a lot of different fields. With Jack and I being like politics and philosophies and stuff like that.
Yes, quite so.
And Jack and Sam, whatever, like random internet phenomena and that sort of thing. And
digital ephemera and the like.
And Sam and I are into like fitness and sports and that sort of thing.
I'm not.
And, no, he's not. And all 3 of us are well versed in music. So
Yeah. With that being said, also, I wanted to start this just to like, I kind of was in like a weird spot, personally speaking. Like, I kind of felt like if I did this, it would help me like make my communication skills better. And so I thought that was kind of like a neat little thing.
They come up with the idea, so I was just like, yeah, whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah, originally we wanted to do radio, and then we realized that we probably wouldn't be able to do that because we have to get licensing from like big music companies.
Either that, or we have to set up like a whole online thing.
Yeah.
All the rigmarole.
Yeah, and we probably start off like our own garage band songs and not actually any music.
And I mean, this is like there's 0 startup cost too, because we could just use Sam's dad's recording equipment and
Thanks, Sam's dad.
And just use the basement, upload to YouTube and stuff. So it's like
thanks, Sam's basement.
Thanks, YouTube. In this age, you could just pretty much get it. It's easy for anyone to start in a lot of different industries, and this is one of them.
Yeah, high five.
Yeah.
That was flaccid, bro. Go it again.
All right. Does that pretty much cover that?
I think that sums up our reasoning for making the podcast as well as who we are. Maybe we should spiel a little bit about who we are, like give a little bit of background.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm Jared. I go to school at Bryant. We all went to school at Plainville High School, and so
crazy, bro.
I'm a math major. I play a little bit of the keys, the piano.
The ivories.
Tinkle the ivories a little bit. You know me. No, you don't know me. That's the whole thing.
Whoa, dude. Holy shit.
We got Bird Box episode 2 over here, bro.
I don't know. That pretty much covers it for me. I'm a smart guy as well.
Yeah, incredibly smart. What's crazy about him is that like everyone knows in our friend group that he is probably like academically speaking the smartest person that we've ever met, maybe.
Yeah, but other than that, and nearly every other aspect, every other facet, he's dumb as a fucking pile of shit, dude.
Yeah. And eventually I'll be able to think of some story that would be absolutely disgraceful for you, but I can't think of it right now, but I'll make sure to keep you guys tuned on that.
You look good.
Yeah. We won't get into that now, but that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Sam. I go to CCSU. I met all of these guys when I was in high school, of course. Me and Jack met in band class. We both played the drums. Such out some Cichelada. And I met Jared my senior year of high school. I was kind of into the whole entire video editing thing at the time, and he was into basketball, and I wasn't really into basketball at the time, but we kind of became friends for like our shared hatred of thoughts, and then we kind of like
nice.
That bloomed into so much more. We went to Subway together, and we had a cool little thing going on. And then at the end of senior year, me and him worked on a hoop mixtape for himself together. Yep. And that's on YouTube, and maybe we'll have it linked in the comment section.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. And then we got into lifting as well. Yeah, Sam and I.
Maximus.
We work out a lot.
And we have our
Gainville, CT. Follow that. On Instagram.
We'll plug. All right. Yeah. I got you plugged. Okay.
Jack, you're up, man.
That's me. All right, I'm Jackson, aka Jack, aka Big Meat Jack.
That's what they call him. Yep.
I didn't come up with that name. Yeah. So I'm 19, like the rest of these goons. I used to go to Hugh Hart, and I was like, screw that. Nah. So now I go to Tunxus. I'm trying to become a music teacher. Hopefully, that'd be cool.
That's sick. Do you want to be like how would you compare yourself to Mr. Chilada? Like, what type of music teacher are you?
I don't know. Yeah, because I could be like.
Are you like a band composer? Or are you?
Am I like a Dr. Smeda kind of?
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
I think
it would really suck if like I like go through all go through the ropes, go through the motions of becoming a music teacher, and then I'm like, okay, I applied to the school. It's the coolest school ever. They could totally hire me. It's like, yeah, we totally hire you, except you were a fucking idiot online in this podcast. So. No, but yeah, I played the guitar. I played it for a while, so I'm pretty into music. I work in a music shop right now. I'm pretty well versed in like weird what?
No, I think no. I think it's crazy that like it's like reverse.
Yeah.
I can't really I don't know. Continue.
You high coach?
No.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I'm pretty well versed in like weird random esoterica and stuff like that. People say I'm funny, but I think either I'm really stupid or they are, so I don't know. 1, 2. What are you doing?
He's
I whacked him.
Deleted that.
You whacked him. I whopped him good. Mommy, you whopped me.
What would you say is your favorite piece of esoterica you've ever read, Jack?
Ever read?
Yeah.
There's this one thing. It was really funny. It was like some like random freaking boomer on some like foot fetish website, and there was like a screen cap of this, right, that I found on like Reddit or something. It was like maybe might have been like, I don't know. It was a screen cap of some dude's like tirade, right? Some like younger like foot novice was like, oh, well, what are the ins and outs of this fetishry here? And this like the foot fetish veteran boomer comes up and he's like, first you must savor the smell, sniff it. Let it dominate you. Let it become you. Such is our way. And like he lists like these like progressively like more ludicrous steps of what to do to like get the most out of like a woman's foot, and he ends every paragraph with "such is our way." So I think that might be one of my favorites.
That takes the cake. That sounds good. Takes the cake.
Do you know what that reminds me of, Jared?
What?
Do you remember when we were in New York together and I made the gay Tinder account?
Yeah.
And like there was like this dude because as soon as I turned like on like my normal Tinder accounts, like I'll get like 3 matches over like maybe 3 years, it's like a match a year type thing.
Yeah, girls are picky.
And then on like my gay Tinder account though, like you make a gay Tinder and you're absolutely rolling in
it. Yeah. So what happened was he made this account, this gay Tinder account, to see what would happen, and basically every single person he swiped right on was an automatic match, and so one of the people was like this 40-year-old dude, and he slid into his messages and was like, oh man, I want you to put on boots so I could take them off and suckle on your toes or something really weird.
Yeah, I want to wrap up your little piglets like kebabs. Stick a fork to them. I'm like, bro, it's so weird. and I was being so passive about it. He was like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna do this and this to your toes. And
I'm gonna wrap my tongue around your toes, call it pigs on a blanket.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna do this and this to your toes, and I'm just like, yeah, man, how you doing today? Like every day he's just like 1,000 times more horny, and it's so weird.
The weather's really nice today.
Yeah,
let me see your feet.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're dealing with for gay people.
Shout out.
Okay, so you want to move on to the next order of business?
Yeah.
Do you want to go to our top 10 albums of 2018? You want to do that now?
Top 10 albums. Top 10 albums. Top 10. Okay. All right, Jared, what's your number 10 album of this year?
Okay, so this one might surprise you a little bit. My number 10 is Year of the Snitch by Death Grips.
Okay.
As much as I claim to not be big fans of Death Grips, I know like earlier in the year I thought like they were very like just like discordant. I wasn't a fan of how like experimental they were. but this album kind of changed my opinion of them for me, and I don't know. I like how it is. I like how it sounds.
It's good. It's good.
I like how it's like more on like the spectrum of like rock rather than like experimental hip hop. I don't know. I kind of like that. The song.
They have their moments where they do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
Black Paint.
Yeah,
Black Paint's really good.
Yeah, it's heavy.
My favorite song on the album is The Fear, which is
Yes.
really good. Like it
Yes.
just sounds like a descent, you know, like
Yeah. That's like a dog in an elevator, bro. It has
Yeah.
no idea what's going on. It's just going straight down.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My number 10, I had Veteran by JPEG Mafia. I didn't really get to listen to that project too much, but it was really experimental and it had some high points, especially in the song Baby I'm Bleeding, which had like this really crazy, really heavy, like fast beat, and then he just went off on it, and it was kind of sick. And yeah, it's just like a bunch of like experimental tracks like that. So I thought it was
Nice.
dope. Yeah.
So my 10 was Iridescence by Brockhampton. So
Wow.
yeah. What? Did you listen to it, bro?
No, I'm not a big Brockhampton
Yeah,
guy
I'm not
actually.
Well, I kind of am.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
Big Brockhampton guy.
So yeah, 2017, big year for them. They dropped their Saturation trilogy, very well received. A lot of people really liked it. So there was, of course, a lot of strife and controversy and uncertainty leading up to their newest release, Iridescence, because they were originally going to release like this one album, call it this one thing called like Team Effort, and they were like, no, fuck that, we're going to call it Puppy. But then they're like, no, it's actually Team Effort. But then they're like, fuck that, we're just going to create an entirely new album. Because then like the other guy, Amir, left because like apparently he raped someone.
That's what I heard.
But I'm not trying to downplay. But so yeah, Iridescence. I think it's a pretty solid LP. I don't think it's quite as up there with their other stuff. But there are some bangers. There are some slappers. There are some like rainy day driving home. I'm feeling kind of like a little bit sad and depressed when I need to pick me up songs. It's good. It's around really solid.
It's like a potluck of like everything you can ask for in a Brockhampton project.
I suppose so.
Yeah,
What's,
I was gonna ask you about Brockhampton just in general because like I know they had Saturation 1, 2, and 3, and that's when like, Amir was still there, and he was my favorite member of the group for like a while.
Wow.
And then after he left, like
Then it turned out he raped someone.
yeah. No, so that kind of sucks because he was awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my 10.
All right. Number 9 for me is Daytona by Pusha T. Actually.
I just got around to listen to that today, and I thought it was pretty good as well. But
Yeah.
I didn't put it on the list.
I think like what makes the album is the sublime production by Kanye West. If it weren't for that, the album would be very mediocre. But he lifts it up to a very good level.
His diss track on Draco this year was absolutely brutal. It might have
Yeah,
been
it
one
was.
of
It
the
was
best
The
tracks I've
Story of
ever
a
listened
Dinosaur.
to.
Is that? That was on the album, right? Yeah.
And I mean,
I don't know if it was or not, but
no, it was so what happened was at the end of the album he had like this like track called like Infrared, and like he took like kind of like some kind of
Like a sideways, like
yeah.
backhanded. Yeah.
yeah, like very concealed shots at Drake, and so Drake was like, I'm not gonna take that, and so he put out a diss track to Pusha T, and then Pusha T just like absolutely murdered him. Came back with
Just like Ganondorf up tilted him.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like Super Smash Bro double B.
he just like
Double beat him.
double B.
Bro, what?
he just King Dedede, like big swings.
yeah,
Big fucking swings, dude.
yeah. And I mean, we'll talk about Kanye West a little bit more later. I mean, obviously, all of us have other albums by him. This was probably the worst one he was involved, except for the Nas one. But like this one
That one was still pretty good though.
It was good. It was good. You know, he had a great year. He had a great year all around. Like all of his stuff was at the worst good.
And
we
we can get
The year
excited.
of Yay.
We can get excited for next year too because he's got Yami coming out.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I know. I can't wait for
This
that.
year, too. You mean?
I can't wait for that.
This is 2019 right
Oh,
now.
Yeah, it's 2019 when we're
Yeah.
recording.
What?
this. Yeah.
All right,
Wow.
bro. Sam.
Okay, so I have Dark Age by MGMT. It was a pretty cool, like, poppy, fun album that I honestly didn't listen to until yesterday because I was kind of in a rush to make this whole entire list.
Nice.
But, like, I like the way that he comes in the tracks. Like, he kind of has, like, a higher, like, tenor
Yeah.
and, like, tenor type of voice.
She
And-
works out.
Yeah, that song is crazy.
That song
The
is
opening
really good.
track
The opening
is
song to this album
crazy,
is really
like-
good. It's
Yeah.
it's called "She Works Out Too Much."
Yeah.
And it's very, very, very,
that's
very
one of
good
the
song.
albums that we would all listen to in like a car ride back from like a long car ride back from someone's house.
Yeah.
It's
like,
it's one of the best
Yeah.
songs of the year
Yeah,
for sure.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, no. So my number 9 is Lush by Snail Mail.
I never even heard of that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you should have,
I haven't
because they're
heard of that.
indie famous, Jared.
Okay.
So yeah, Snail Mail. What's cool about Snail Mail? The girl who pretty much does all of it, Lindsay Jordan. She's 19. She's exactly our age. It's crazy, bro.
That
But,
is crazy. It's like people are like at like absolute stardom at our age, and like it
Yeah.
felt like for so long the gap was bigger. And there's even people who are like younger than us, like Lil Pump.
I know, that's crazy. But yeah. So they, I guess they, because it's the whole band. So they released an EP. I want to say like early 2017, maybe partway through 2017. It was kind of good. It had some good songs on it. And then in like June
Names are
of
so
2018, they
weird.
released Lush, which
This
is
one goes
which
so
is like really solid. There's some great songs in there. I love some of the tunings she uses, some of the chord voicings she uses. Also, what's really nice about it is like it's one of those things where the track that she starts out with on the album is like the same as the track that she ends with, or like there's a motif in the same song. So it's like, I absolutely love it when
It's just
artists
her?
do stuff like that. Well, I mean, she's the one who wrote it, and like
She got a band with her though, right? She's the front man though.
front lady.
Front lady.
But
Front fair maiden.
But yeah, really solid overall. I like it. I like it a lot. At first listen, I was like, oh, this is like a 7. And now I'm like, this is like an 8.5. What? But
No, that's happened to me in the past. Like,
yeah, where you listen to an
Yeah.
album and then you're like, oh, it's all right, and you listen to it again, like, what the fuck was I missing?
and
The most extreme example of that was for me in the Airplane Over the Sea.
Yeah, because you said you were like, oh, I'd say the XXX Tentacion album is probably better than that.
Yeah, and I
and
listened to it a few more times. Every time I listen to it, I like it a little bit more. Now it's my favorite album of all time. So
Yeah.
it even happened for me
Ever.
too, because like for the longest time, me and these guys would go back and forth about how great Radiohead is or is not, and I used to absolutely hate Tom York as a person. I thought that he was whiny and it sounded like a dying like
Lamb.
ferret. Yeah, or like a lamb. Thank you. But then like I kind of came around to listening to OK Computer like in full for the first time, and then I realized like how great I think that the band actually is, including Tom York.
Really good. They released a new song like yesterday.
yeah, I know it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's
I don't think they're releasing a new album.
it sounds a lot like Knives Out.
It was just
Yeah.
it was a single,
Yeah.
like no album. It's gonna come out.
It's
Yeah.
called Ill Wind.
Yeah, I think because they've done that before. They'll just like drop a single like out of no, and then they won't be on anything. But I think Tom York is making a solo album that he's planning to release this year.
The best like music and like other things that like are the ones that get better the more you expose yourself to it, the more you listen to it.
Absolutely.
That sort of
Oh,
thing.
definitely. Oh,
If you
yeah, bro.
you know the ones that sort of like die out the more you listen to it, those are the bad ones.
How old is Tom York now?
He's like 50.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah.
No, I think he's actually 50. Yeah. But continue.
8.
Number 8 for me is the one that Sam had at number 9, Little Dark Age by MGMT. Yeah, I really like She Works Out Too Much. It's like one of my favorite songs of the year. I like the it's kind of like an electronic alternative hybrid, which is really cool. And like actually a lot of albums in my top 10 are like that. I kind of like that sonic aesthetic. So
Nice, yeah.
that's all I really have to say about that one. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Solid 8 out of 10.
At number 8, I had Against All Logic's album 2012 to 2017. I just came across this album like maybe the beginning of December, and I've been kind of looking for like more poppy stuff to play since like in my job I'm responsible for like what gets played over the speaker. So like I can't do anything too crazy or abstract, but like 2012
No
to
Death
2017,
Grips.
yeah, absolutely not. 2012 to 2017 was like a great album that was just like it was kind of like pop, like experimental at the same time, and it had like a lot of really catchy songs on it, and I love playing it at work. So yeah.
My number 8 is Car Seat Headrest, Twin Fantasy.
What? That's disrespectful. I think.
I think it's better than that as well.
Yeah, I think it's better. I think it's a lot better than that.
Oh, MGMT is number 9. All right. So
You really got me there. That was a very well put together retort.
yeah, same thing, bro. MGMT should probably be higher than number 9.
I had it at 8, but okay.
All right, so number 8 is the new revised version of Twin Fantasy. So in like 2011 or something. You going for it, buddy?
Yeah, I'm going for it.
Hell yeah.
I sync myself.
Me too. In like 2011 or so, Will Toledo, who's like the mastermind behind Car Seat Headrest, released this like album that he made in his bedroom called Twin Fantasy about like your ideal in like in a relationship and like realizing that like you can never meet that ideal and then like that relationship slowly falling apart and then like coming to terms with that. But he found like kind of newfound success when he got signed to a label in like 2016 or something like that. And he released a really good album called Teens of Denial. I recommend it. But using like the production and the instrumentation and styling from that, he went back and redid his Twin Fantasy album with some revised lyrics and stuff like that. Really solid. He added some stuff in there too. It was really cool. I like the album. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So wait, like.
I'm assuming you guys are going to explain more for that. So
Yeah. Twin Fantasy, like, was that like that was re-released? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like
it's
a
like
re-release.
it's reproduction. Like they redid the production.
Yeah, like I have the like the original one on my phone. It's like super lo-fi and like
very and
crunchy and fuzzy, and I like it then too.
I mean, I'm a fan of like lo-fi stuff, but like it's too lo-fi for me. The original one.
Too lo-fi.
Yeah, it's like it's too fuzzy and like you can barely even like distinguish a lot of the sounds. IMO in the original.
I like that though.
But I like how it's clear. It's
no, and I think I do prefer the newer one.
Yeah,
a bit better.
I prefer it a lot.
Okay, so.
So we're moving on to number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7 for me is an album I don't really expect you guys to have in your top 10. For me, it's "You Won't Get What You Want" by Daughters.
You told me that album was unnerving for you to listen to.
It is, yeah.
But like in a good way, though.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like a good horror movie.
Yeah, it's a horror movie in like audio format. Like it's I had to force myself to listen to it after a couple of songs just because it was like disturbing. Like in the whatever highest degree. In the highest degree, like it's like it's cacophony in a horrific way. Like I feel like in a lot of respects, it's kind of what Death Grips wants to be. A lot of times,
really,
like it's like it makes Death Grips seem tame. You know what I mean? Like it's just unpleasant and cacophonous, but like it serves a purpose.
Wow.
You know?
I would argue.
That's a hot take, but like
yeah.
I can't. I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna say it's necessarily wrong, but it's
crazy though. It's like
I feel like Death Grips is what they want to be, pretty much for the most part.
Maybe,
you know
but this album is like Death Grips on steroids. Like this is just like
I mean, if Death Grips was like a noise rock band rather than like half experimental hip hop, half.
Because
oh no, say what you were gonna say.
Because like when it comes to like music like that, where like it's like more like noise than it is like has like cadence and stuff like that, it kind of starts to lose me a little bit. That's like why you won't see like a noise album on like any of my lists personally, but
unless it's like a Death Grips kind of thing.
But like
because Death Grips dabbles in noise quite a bit.
It does. Yeah,
but there's like more cadence and like actual like body to the music.
The thing about this though is I think it like serves a purpose rather than like in Death Grips. I don't know. Like this is like it's just like evocative of pure fear and just like pure fear and terror and like. It just left me completely shook. It was like it sounds like your like head is splitting apart as you're listening to it, or like a demon is like clawing into like your soul. Like that's what the album sounds like. It's crazy.
Just like pissing into like Tartarus, and like something roars back at you. Like that's what.
Especially the song "Satan in the Wait." Like it just like sounds like you're descending into hell. Like it's crazy.
No, that's crazy. That reminds me kind of like the Giles Corey album. We'll talk about that another day.
It's not a character from.
The Crucible,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I have to say.
I went like part way through that album, like at least halfway through.
It's tough to get through. It's tough to get through.
Granted, I was like vacuuming at the time, so but still.
That made it even more
if you listen to it like with like headphones in like a dark room by yourself, like it's bad. Like it's scary.
Granted, you practically shit yourself the other night when I like walked in front of my car and I went like this.
No, we were in the car all together and Jackson was telling like a really spooky story. And at one point, like I started getting a little bit scared of myself and I like grabbed Jared and then he flipped shit. He goes,
I'm like,
you know? Even though Sam was like right next to him.
Yeah.
And then so it was like really late and I was a little bit spooked out too. So I was like, okay, my truck is still like in the street. I have to put it in the driveway so I don't get ticketed and my parents don't yell at me. I won't get spanked. So I like ran inside and I was like, guys, just wait like 5 minutes so I have someone out here in case anything's crazy happens. And of course, nothing fucking happens. But yeah, so I grabbed my keys and I parked the car in the driveway. And then like I came out around the corner and I seriously, I just do this. I come around and I go. And then I hear something kind of muffled, some like, and I see like some commotion coming out of Sam's car, and it's just Jared going,
Bro, it was
Wait, hang on. A little background though, it's like we were talking about some spooky stuff, and it was late at night, and I was like tired from the night before, and it was like I was exhausted. And you know how like when you're tired, like things scare you that they shouldn't. You know what I mean? So like, and we were talking about stuff for like a long time, so there's a lot of build up driving through like deserted type roads and stuff. Like and you know we were talking about like nightmares and schizophrenia.
That was a spooky restaurant.
And ghost stories and stuff like that. So yeah.
And the craziest part about that restaurant is that Jackson was playing his album that he was talking about, which was like it was like an absolute journey through like Candyland. But the whole other time it was like high frequency wind chimes and something absolutely like great.
Yeah,
and,
it was long seasoned by Fishman.
And like whistling like.
Yeah, and we were talking about like nightmares of like whistling happening.
Yeah, it was spooky. It was a spooky night.
Jack, I'm gonna change this, Jack.
My number 7.
You're number 7.
I don't have a lot to say about my number 7. It's Twin Fantasy. Jackson really covered everything I think I wanted to say about that. I really started listening to that album this week, and I was really excited about their kind of pop punky flavor.
No, but it's a solid album. It's a really solid album. I'm not trying to diss it, but
I'll have more to say about it later.
Okay. My number 7 is a Micro Shift by Hookworms. Absolutely fucking no one talked about this, and I don't know why, because it's such a fucking good album. Probably one of my favorite songs this year came off of it, Ulswater, which is like in like 9/8 time, and it like switches time signatures like 3 times, but it has this like really like nice borderline like triumphant like driving beat going. Oh my god, it's so good. But
how'd you find out about it if like no one else talked about it?
How did I think it was like recommended to me in Spotify by like something. So shouts out to Spotify. Better than Apple Music. Just gotta say it.
Yeah, Spotify are cool.
But yeah, we're gonna have like 2 people be like, oh, but there's Dr. Dre albums on Apple Music. But
Dr. Dre sucks. I'm just gonna say it.
But yeah, it's this weird kind of like psychedelic, like indie alternative, like some like synth stuff. It's a really solid album. I suggest that people definitely look into that. Jared, you're 6.
My 6 is gonna spark some discussion. It's Wide Awake by Parquet Courts.
That's a great album.
I don't know.
Well, it's like the thing is, Jack and I have had discussions in the past about this album.
We have. Yeah.
I think it's grown on me a lot.
Leave some space to say. Talk about this one.
Okay.
Because me and Jack are gonna kill it.
I think Tenderness is a really good song. I think it's
nice.
It's a pleasant listen to, you know, through most of it. It's just I think the social commentary falls pretty short on a lot of the album.
There's a lot of social commentary on that album.
I know, but they're not as woke as they think they might be.
They're wide awake though.
Yeah.
They're in a somnolent fugue state.
That's what you said before.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
they're in a trance, bro.
I heard that like when they're not doing music, like they all work at like a bicycle shop together.
Really, that's
so
funny.
like for like people that work at a bicycle shop, like that's pretty much as fucking woke as it gets, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
that's true. That's really funny.
Yeah. No, because I watched like a live performance with them, and like I'm pretty sure it was in like their bicycle shop. Like they said, like a bunch of bikes on the wall and stuff, and then they had like maybe 50 people come. This is like in 2012 when they were still small and they were still in their bicycle shop.
So this is like Light Up Gold.
Yeah.
Light Up Gold is their debut.
I have a hot take. I think
Second
Light Up
best
Gold
album.
is actually better than Wide Awake.
I can't say that.
I say Light Awake like a half.
Yeah. But Light Up Gold for me is still like a high 8, low 9.
Oh no, it's Light Up Gold is still really good.
Yeah.
So
my team for 6.
I guess.
Okay. For 6, I have No Names, Room 25. I listened to her last album, which I can't remember the name of right now, but it had the song Diddy Bop on it, which I was a huge fan of. And this album was also very, very cool. It was kind of like neo soul, I felt, and it had some great features on it, like Saba and Ace, and it was really just like a cool whole listen that I enjoyed a lot.
No, yeah, I listened to that one too. That one's in my honorable mentions. I listened to that today actually. All right, So is that it with your?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it for my no
All right.
spiel.
My number 6 is Year of the Snitch by
No,
Death
wait,
Grips.
we're on number 7 here. No.
No, we're not.
Oh, you're right. We're on
Legal.
6. We're at 6. My fault.
You fucking crater brain, Jared. You idiot. You stupid. All right.
All right. I'm sorry.
My number 6 is Death Grips, Year of the Snitch. Again, it's just Black Paint is probably one of my favorite Death Grip songs now. And that used to be like an area that was like populated like half with like money store stuff. But yeah, I think Year of the Snitch is just a really solid LP from them, and a nice continuation of their style and sound. And like as MC Ride would say, they expanded laterally. They moved laterally. So
Where would you put it in terms of the other albums that they've made? Where would you rank it?
that's really tough. It's probably all right. So Money Store's 1.
Yeah.
I really like Ex-Military. That might be like 3. It might be like anywhere from like 2 to like 4 in their in their ranking. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm cool with that.
Maybe not 2. I don't know if I'd put it.
Because I got Money Store, then No Love Deep Web, and then Ex-Military, then probably Year of the Snitch.
So number
I don't know.
5.
I'm not a big Death Grips guy, so.
Number 5, Jared.
You're not a big cool guy either. But
Damn, you just giving me the zingers.
yeah.
All right. So number 5, I might get a little bit roasted here for this one, but number 5 for me is
Scorpion by Drake.
no.
No.
No, I actually-
shit.
I actually have the
Bad.
1975's album. Yeah.
Okay. No. Continue.
It's-
I've listened to it, so I can't say anything
It's
about it.
I don't know. I think okay. I'll say the OK Computer comparisons are really OD. Like
That's
crazy.
out the ass.
That's like ridiculous. But it is like a very solid album. I've been a fan of the 1975 for a little bit of time. And this is definitely their best album by a lot.
What was their other album name? Like I Like It When You Sleep, so it could like come in your hair without knowing. What was it
No,
called?
it's like I like it when you sleep because you are so beautiful and unaware of it, or something like that. Really.
Well, there's only like one good song on that.
long-winded.
There's really like one good song.
This
on
is
that album.
their best album by a lot. It's
And if it weren't for Two Time, it wouldn't be anything, right? If it weren't for that.
no, I really hate that song. That the song Two Time or whatever that song is really bad. But you know, it's another electronic alternative hybrid, like the
indie pop kind of.
yeah. It's pretty good. There's the song It's Not Living If It's Not With You is really good. That's one of my favorite of the year.
Give Yourself a Try was a decent song.
Give Yourself a Try is good, and Love It If We Made It is really good too.
That song was pretty good.
Again, like this is, I think the social commentary here is like maybe slightly better than on Wide Awake. That's probably a hot take, but
Continue, Jared.
we'll talk about Wide Awake later. But I think
Okay.
But like Wide Awake, I think is like pretty. It's they're not they're not saying anything as intelligent or profound as they're purporting to, you know. But you know, this one it talks about like people's relationships with the internet and with other people, and how the internet kind of impacts
Sours
that.
it.
Yeah. It's pretty good. The weird thing that they have in the middle, where they kind of like try to do like a Fitter Happier type thing, like The Man Who Married the Internet or whatever, is not great. But
I don't like
kind of like the
Happier.
name of that though. You don't like Fitter Happier?
No, I don't.
If you went for Fitter Happier is like
I thought it was cheesy.
OK Computer like condensed, because everyone else who does that stuff is cheesy, but like
What, would they make like a commentary on it? or
Yeah.
something
that was
like
I don't know. Yeah, the whole
it's good. But
nothing will ever
Fitter
be
Happier
yeah.
is great. But their take on that isn't that great. It's definitely not OK Computer, even though it might be trying to be. But you know, it has like moments in this album that are really, really good. So I'm gonna give it my number 5 on my list.
All right. Well, Sam, how about your number 5 on your list?
My number 5 was another album that I started listening to recently. It was something in Spanish by Natalia Lafourcade. The name of the album is Musos.
You want me to read it?
Well, it's just Musos, but then there's something else after it. It's in Spanish. I don't know what it means. Yeah,
Nice.
I was listening to it. Like, it's honestly like probably like one of the better gym albums I've ever listened to, even though it's like
What's it called?
Damn. Okay.
it's called Musos. Like, she's got like a couple of albums named Musos, but like the newest one.
Okay.
Yeah. and it's like really like upbeat Spanish music, and I didn't really think that I'd be into it as much as I was, but I was, and I listened to it a lot in the gym, and it helped me get the gains. So yeah.
Nice.
All right, so my number 5, the new Father John Misty album.
Really?
Yeah,
Really? That high?
I really liked it. It was really solid. There's some great fucking songs.
What's the name of it?
What even?
It's God's favorite.
Yeah,
customer.
God's favorite customer.
Yeah.
That's what it was. The Disappointing Diamonds. That's a great song. I'll play that anytime, any day. I love the progression in the beginning, like that bam 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 bam. Oh, great. Hang Out at the Gallows. Not only is
That's
that
a good song.
Not only is that a great pun, but that song is it's so good. I think it's a really solid follow up to his album last year.
Pure comedy.
It's not as good. Not nearly.
I know.
as
I don't
good.
think. I don't think it's like on the same level, but I think it's solid as a solid
It's,
follow.
Pure comedy was definitely one of the better albums of last year.
Top 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but definitely, I really enjoyed this new Father John Misty album. First time I listened to it, I was just like playing Minecraft.
You know, it came out the same day as my number 1 on this list. It just was not nearly as good.
Oh, I know what your number 1 is.
Yeah.
You already spoiled it, Jared. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good job.
I don't know what it is yet.
Continue though, Jared. You're number 4.
My number 4 is one that Sam had earlier on his list. Is the Against All Logic 2012 to 2017.
Yeah, that album goes hard, right?
It's
Actually, I started listening to that today.
It's like
oh, it's alright.
It's really really groovy. Like the first 2 songs are great. Like the song I Don't Dream or whatever it's called. You know the one I'm talking about. The second one.
Yeah, the second one is probably my favorite one.
What is it
now.
called?
I don't remember the name.
It's called I Don't Dream. I'm pretty sure.
I could find it real quick.
But that song is great. The first song is really good. Again, it's like an electronic type thing. You know, it's good. Like they have good samples. They sample a Kanye song at some point.
Now You Got Me Hooked.
Yeah.
That song was
Yeah.
hard, bro.
Yeah. This album is like a very very good listen. Like if you listen to it, like you'll be in a good state of mind. You know.
Yeah. No, this is one of those albums like where when I'm scared, I put that on.
Yeah.
And then like immediately I feel a lot more better.
It just sounds really really good. It's like euphonic. You know.
Yeah.
It's the counterpart to the Daughters album.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so you got like a whole yin yang. I guess no, but
I
you
like
could almost
that.
argue like the album covers are like yin yang from each
Yeah.
other too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, wow.
It's like white with like a bit of black and black with a bit of white.
Yeah.
What are we on number 4?
Yeah, and 4.
Number 4 is Wide Awake for me. Jackson recommended me listening to this album earlier in the year, and I didn't really listen to him. But then when I did listen to it, it was it's obviously one of the better projects I've listened to this year. And the song Total Football, which is the opener on there, is probably maybe the most catchiest, whatever you want to call it, guitar hook, whatever you want to call it, you know.
And the bass line there.
The bass line. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
I like that song. I like Wide Awake, and I really like Tenderness. Those are my 3 like favorites.
The first time you played that song, Jackson, I honestly thought it was a Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
Really?
I was like
it was
100%
like
sure.
Flea?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like one, right?
I guess, yeah. If Flea would be like
Yeah. So
just like say some weird shit. But yeah.
Total Football, great song. Another great song is Before the Water Gets Too High.
When the water gets too high.
That song's really good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And is that the same song? Which one is the one where it goes, glass barely bends before it cracks? What's the name of that song?
Yeah, it's Water Gets Too High.
Oh, okay. Then Violence. Or no, in and out of.
In and out of patience.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that.
My memory is shite, but thank you.
Yeah. All right.
So I know that Jackson still has it on his list, so I'll let him finish it off.
It's a good album. It sounds really good. The social commentary, we'll discuss it when you have it. But I think they're not. It's not profound or insightful at all.
So for my number 4, the Kanye West Kid Cudi collaboration, Kids See Ghosts.
At number 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I still thought I loved this album. I still thought it was really solid. It just didn't quite resonate with me as much as it did with some people, and it didn't resonate with me as much as Ye did, which Ye is up higher on my list.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
People are gonna be like, oh, it's shit, you only like this because something Trump. Blah, 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 blah. I don't like Trump. Trump's an asshole. Trump's a fucking douche.
Yeah,
right? I don't like him. I think Kanye's a lot of his political stuff is dookie too.
It's dumb. Yeah, but like you can't let that detract
I
from
know,
like how
you
good of
can't.
a musical artist he is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
one of-
you
like he's
absolutely can.
indisputably one of the best of all time.
He's probably one of the best like producers. At least he's probably the best hip hop producer. Like
I really hate how like people let his like half-baked political ideas get in the way of his let that like prevent them from enjoying his music.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's a big debate in general.
Because
now,
well, I mean, like the thing is though, is it's like he's he's a little kooky. He has some crazy opinions, but
She quirky though.
but like the thing is like about that is like I want my artists to be a little bit crazy, you know.
yeah,
Like,
I want my guys to be out the ass.
I don't want them to be like cardboard cutout like like Pepto-Bismol people like you know what I mean? Like-
Because the thing is, anyone who like in music has like actually changed shit and actually revolutionized anything has been an absolute fucking freak
Yeah.
in like the best
Yeah.
way possible.
I was
You look
talking
like
to you
David
about that
Bowie.
recently.
Yeah.
You look at like you look at like David Byrne or something like that, or like any of the fucking like guys in the 70s or in the 80s like that. They're all fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. You look at like I don't know, even like someone like Tom York who's just kind of like that's so cool still. Like
like you have to be like
or like Janelle Monáe, she's doing crazy shit, and she's like weird as hell too, and that's
Yeah.
so cool.
To
Like
be-
anyone's
to be capable of like producing something or making something that's like worth people investing their time into or something that pushes the boundaries, you have to be a little bit crazy. You have to be like you can't be normal. Like you have to, because like if you're normal, you're just going to be producing things that are normal, and like people aren't going to want to invest their time into it.
Yeah.
You want something that's like off the
either that or people will, but you're going to be creating the most plastic fucking packaging peanut bullshit ever.
yeah, like Drake.
But what I was
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
what me and Jared was talking about like earlier today is that just because your music is experimental doesn't mean it's gonna be great. Like
Sure.
people don't understand that. Like
Mhm.
even though it differentiates from the norm doesn't mean it's good.
Mhm.
There's experimentally good and experimentally bad. But I feel like you have to be a little bit experimental to really be one of the greatest of all time.
Kids See Ghost is really good though. I bought it on vinyl the other day.
No,
so.
Kids See Ghost is really
I
good.
hate the
kinda
album.
want it, but
It was like a 4 out of 10 in my opinion.
I don't know about that one, Coach.
But I will say this about the album because I'm not gonna talk about it.
Uh-huh.
I'm happy that Cudi has a sound back again.
Mhm.
yeah, no, the album has really solid samples.
If it wasn't
great
for
fucking-
Reborn, it'd be a 2 for me.
Okay.
All right, so Jared, you're number 3.
Number 3 for me is Twin Fantasy by Car Seat Headrest.
Wow.
Wow. It's just really good. It's better than the original in every way. One thing I noticed about it when I was re-listening to it yesterday that's pretty cool is like the format of the album and the structure of it is completely symmetrical. So like it builds up to Bodies and it kind of descends from there, and it starts out with kind of like a lo-fi type song. It ends with like a lo-fi type song.
Yeah, even in like the names of the songs.
The second to last song and the second song, Beach Life and Death and the Famous Prophets, they're like epic songs. They're really, really long. They go through like a bunch of different movements, stuff like that. They're each like over 10 minutes, and they also like have parallels lyrically wise, like the ocean washed over your grave or whatever it is. Like it.
Is that the same? I haven't looked at the sun for so long.
I think in both the songs they mention like the lyrics. They kind of go like they reference back to it. They allude back to it.
Yeah.
And then like Sober to Death and then High to Death, like they're paralleled like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like the album is completely symmetrical. I think that structure is pretty cool. Like the Twin Fantasy, like it's like a twin, like the counter.
Yeah, well, no, and what's really cool too is the original one, the super lo-fi one from like 8 years ago. Is when they released the new one, he named that one the mirror to mirror version, and then he named the new one the face to face version.
Yeah.
Which I love too.
Yeah.
Because it's like the full realization, in his opinion of.
Beach Life in Death, great song. Like that's a masterpiece. Beach Life in Death is an absolute masterpiece. And Bodies is really, really, really good. Bodies goes hard.
Bodies is the second song on the album, right?
No, that's Beach Life in Death.
Bodies is
Cute
definitely
Thing
my
is
favorite
also a really good song too.
Cute Thing's pretty good. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh man, and I love that he added the solo in it too. Like,
Beach Life and Death is my favorite song on the album for sure.
Yeah. Beach Life in Death is crazy. Like the 14-minute one, it goes so hard.
I haven't heard the 14-minute one. Is that the one?
That's the one. That's the second song on the album is Beach Life in Death.
yeah, it's like 13 and a half minutes long.
That's crazy. I'm still in a trance at that point.
Yeah.
I guess.
It
And
went by quick.
somnolent
It was so
fugue
good.
State.
Yeah.
We're in a fugue state.
What are we at? Number 3?
Yep.
Number 3, I had the very short spoken yay. Only what?
I'm gonna talk about that a little bit.
Only
later.
what? 25 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later too.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason why it resonates so much with me is because like my own personal like artistic things that I have going on. I like to keep things very brief, and that's what he did on this album. It was probably
Concise.
Yeah.
Succinct.
I mean, that was pretty much every album he did this year too. But
Yeah. I didn't like Itsy Ghost though for some reason. I won't talk about that though. I'll keep it talking about Yay. I think like there wasn't a bad song on this album, and even though like it was short, like it didn't need to be longer. He packaged it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it was any shorter or longer, it would have been worse. And yeah, every song on it was great. It's classic Kanye. So it's probably one of his best albums ever. Maybe second or third.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really good. I remember earlier in the year it was your album of the year.
Yeah.
Why did that change?
Well, you'll see.
Okay.
I mean, like I have other albums above it now.
don't look at his phone though, but you'll see.
Okay.
Like albums came, or like I don't know, like
I mean,
they
things
just grew on
change
you
too.
more.
Like,
I deliberated, you know, and I listened to some albums again.
So
into it.
so we're on 3 now, right?
Yeah.
My number 3, Little Dark Age by MGMT.
Wow, that's high.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
really high.
I don't know. I just love the freaking synth textures, and there's like
Yeah.
these like weird like stuffy synths, and I don't. It has this like weird like, if like it's like
Water.
80s music being played by like people from our age, but like in a room that was decorated in the 70s almost. I don't know. It's really good.
It feels like Yo Gabba Gabba music for adults.
I get what you mean by that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the songs in this are great, and it's cool because I guess they had their own like quote unquote little dark age in between releasing this album and their last album, and it's kind of like a return to their form. And also shouts out they're from Connecticut, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they met at
That's pretty cool.
They met at like Wesleyan, I think.
Really?
That's where, so maybe they're not, but they're kind of. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. It was also the music video for When You Die, out the ass.
I haven't seen it. When You Die is a really good song.
It's
I like
such a
that
good
song.
song too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, there are so many great songs on this. This is another one that I first listened to while like playing Minecraft.
There's one lyric in the song like When You're Small or whatever, or like if like what is that song called? It's called When You're Small, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a lyric where it's like When you're small, you're not very big at all. I don't know, that's like really bad. That's really bad.
It's funny. Oh my god, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's kitsch. There's a whole like genre of art called like kitsch art. That's like it's like tacky, but in a good way.
That's bad though.
That's I like that. All right.
Number 2 now. Huh?
Number 2.
Number 2 for me is Kids See Ghosts.
Okay.
It's just
I would say it's a 2 out of 10 too.
it's
Nice.
this album is just great. Like it's a very like futuristic. It's just great. Like I was re-listening to it today. I could listen to it over and over and over again. It's very eclectic sounding. His samples are just like crazy. Like
I know.
it's so
no,
OD.
it's funny
Like the
'cause
stuff
I
he
was
sampled. Like 1930s cartoons and like stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's ridiculous.
I love that too. That's cheesy as hell, but I love it.
Yeah.
After he blocked his mom on Instagram, he just went, "I am free."
That song is so trippy though. Like I'm free. Okay, so the first time I listened to this album was on the live stream or whatever he did the day it came out, and I don't know what it was, but
You're on the fence.
the audio in the live stream was bad. Like, and then it came out on Apple Music, and like the song names were all messed up. You remember that?
Yeah, it was three times, even on Spotify too. The song order was messed up actually.
But like once it came out and it was released and he got everything in order, I re-listened to it a couple of times. It really, really grew on me. I really love this album. One of the best of the year for sure. Only topped by, I'm just gonna say it, another Kanye album.
Yeah.
His production is just.
It's the Nas album.
It's it's just sublime. Like it's crazy.
No, yeah, he's definitely like the best hip hop producer alive right now.
Yeah.
Of all time.
I would say of all time as well.
Yeah. I think
Jay Dilla's up there.
I think
Jay
Kanye,
Dilla's up there.
I think Kanye West like this year cemented the fact that he is a top 10 musical artist of any genre of all time.
After we talk about our albums, I
Possibly.
kind of want to get a little bit more into the art versus the person type, because that's like big of our color.
Yeah,
so
we can
down
go.
into that.
Also, before we say our number 1, we should do our honorable mentions.
Yes. It's,
I have quite a few.
I have a couple. Reborn is a really, really good song. Very like
That's my favorite song on the album.
emotional, I guess you could say. Not sentimental, but it's wrought with emotion. Fires, all the songs. It's just like another very succinct. It's 24 minutes long. It's
it's borderline EP. Like I
It's
think
so good.
if you were to say like it's an EP, I think you'd be able to defend that.
I could listen to this album like any time.
It's just like
It's
this.
so good. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like this and number 1 and 2 are like one A, 1B. Like it's so close. I could like flip flop them. Like they're both like really, really good.
Yeah. Are they both 10s?
No, they're both 9s.
Like
Oh,
9.5 though. Like strong 9s.
They're both 9. I don't know if I go 9.5, but they're both 9s.
I wanted to ask you guys, are there any 10s on your list?
No.
I'm not sure.
No.
But there are very strong 9s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very strong 9s, but not a 10.
Yeah, I get this is great. The cover art for this album is also great.
Yeah.
It's like great cover art.
He just like oh, I'm gonna take this picture.
No. I'm talking about Kids See Ghosts.
I was thinking of
Yeah.
I was thinking of my bad. No, but the cover
Kids See
for that
Ghosts is crazy. Yeah, great
Oh, look,
cover
it
art.
disappeared.
I got it.
Oh, okay. It just looks better or something.
My turn?
Yeah.
You're number 2, Sam.
Okay. Number 2, I had Some Rap Songs by Earl Sweatshirt. I don't think this is going to show up on either of you guys' lists,
No.
especially not now.
No.
This is a return album after a couple years. The last one he made was I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside. I wasn't really a big fan of that. That was kind of... See, I feel like he was trying to find himself as an artist at that time because for a while he was with Odd Future. And I mean, their shit was all kind of like childish and immature. Like it was. I thought it was decent music. It was like loud and upbeat, but like none of them had really found themselves artistically yet.
You got necklace. I mean, Tyler kind of has though.
Now Tyler has, but like when he was with Odd Future, he wasn't the Tyler we know now. And Tyler's last album was like really good, I thought. So Earl goes on to release I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside, which I thought was mediocre. It was just a bunch of sad songs, but none of them really had like any weight on me personally. And then this year he comes back. Like he took a couple years off after like his father passed, and then
I knew he was struggling with depression for a while.
yeah, depression. That was a big thing with him. And then he made this album, Some Rap Songs, and what I can say about it personally is that at first I didn't like it. And my friend Alex Maycomber recommended it to me, so thank you, Alex.
Shouts out, Alex.
Yes, he'll be on the podcast probably eventually.
Eventually, sometime.
Yeah.
But like, we'll have Alex on the podcast to fucking play spoons on his thighs and go
Yeah.
like I was like talking about Minecraft a little bit.
Yeah.
But so
back in my Adventure Quest Worlds.
all right, let me continue talking about some rap songs. So yeah, like in the last album that he did was like his depression, but this album he found his depression and was really able to warp it into this great musical masterpiece, I thought. And it was not one of those short albums like Kanye West. It was about the same exact runtime,
Like
but
25 or so.
yeah, the reason why this one gets the edge over Ye, just for like personal reasons, how like it resonated with me and how it sounded. And I thought that this one was more experimental than Ye in a better way.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. Speaking of Ye,
I'm
my
gonna
number
take
2. Okay,
Go for it, yeah.
have a good piss, bro.
Thanks, man. Okay.
All right, my number 2, Ye by Kanye West. It's just a really solid album. I know, yeah, he was. This is another kind of thing similar to what Sam was talking about with Earl, where Kanye was struggling with a lot of mental issues and he took a bit of a break. And I know he didn't have a Twitter for the longest time, and then he came back and he just started fucking saying shit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fun. Like
It was. I gotta admit.
he's the goat provocateur. You know, like he gets people talking.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I know you have people like fucking Milo Yiannopoulos. I hate that guy so much. He's such a fucking
He's
so
weird.
annoying.
He's a weird dude.
But yeah, like he's like, I'm a provocateur, darling. And he's like, you're shit compared to Kanye. Honestly, Kanye could literally say fucking anything and people would.
Yeah.
And I kind of believe that a lot of his political stuff, a good amount of it, he might have believed some of it, but like I think he was just saying shit to get his album hyped up because he's done stuff like that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Ghost Town is up there for like one of my best songs of the year. It's so because even the album as itself, like song structure, it's like moving from darkness into light.
Yeah,
like that's like what parallels what I think Kanye's been trying to do this whole year. Just like moving from darkness to God. And I don't know. It's the Ghost Town is definitely just like you
it's
finally
just satisfying.
it's like you I don't know. It's like you finally just like open the curtains, and the lights coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're just driving around with like the top down or the windows open in your car in summertime.
He had a dream like that where he was listening to Ghost Town.
Yeah, because it was weird. Originally, I hated the song Ghost Town. I was like, damn, this song's gay as hell. And then, bro, I had this dream where I was running from the ops in my old Nissan Frontier, and like I crashed into like the local Jim's Deli. You know, it was the most badass shit ever to Ghost Town. And then like I liked the song after that. You know,
it was like prophetic. It was like you just like milked like the astral realm, and then it just like came into your head. This newfound appreciation. For
There's been so many instances that have been like that for me. Like I think I was explaining earlier with the whole entire Radiohead thing, but then also for what other album? There was some other album too. Oh yes, The Life of Pablo. He's a big fan of that album.
Yeah, that's maybe my favorite Kanye album.
And Pablo's really good.
I
too.
thought it was so bad for so long, but now it might be my favorite Kanye album.
Yeah.
Anyways, you number one now?
Yeah, number one. But I'm gonna do honorable mentions first. So honorable
Yeah.
mentions, I have the Father John Misty one as an honorable mention.
Okay.
You know, it's okay. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The first couple songs are good. After that, it kind of like simmers down, kind of pitters out at the end. I don't know, not much else I have to say about it. It's just kind of good. Earl Sweatshirt, the album, it just didn't hit me. You know.
When was the last time you listened to that? Like when was the first time?
I listened to it one time through, and I wasn't a big fan. I just thought it was.
Because like the more I listen to it, the better it gets. For me personally speaking.
It was just, I don't know. It wasn't. I get what he was going for. Like he was like very like dejected and stuff like that.
And he's really got like a very distinct flow too.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
But I don't know.
Not for everyone. I get it.
The Andrew WK album. You're Not Alone.
That's
really good. That's like a very good like workout album.
It's really triumphant. It's just like anthemic and like
it's
fucking out there.
A lot of energy. It's goofy, but like in a very like what's the word? Very
goofy, but in a what way?
Eccentric.
No, but it's goofy in a sincere way. That's the word.
Okay.
It's goofy in a sincere way.
It's like the Adventures of Gumball. Remember that show?
Yeah.
Dirty Computer by Janelle Monáe is really good.
That's on my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I really like
sonically it's really good.
I'm not sure if it's quite up there with something like Arcandroid. Have you listened to all our other stuff?
No.
You definitely should.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And I will say I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't like a direct continuation of like what did she call them? Like the different scenes or whatever that she was doing with her other albums. I'm still waiting on 6 and 7. I'm guessing she's probably gonna do that.
Who, Janelle Monáe?
Yeah,
She's cool.
she's really cool.
And then
Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, but
my last honorable mention is 7 by Beach House.
okay.
I listen to
It's
that
good.
yet, but
It's very like ambient.
I know they're really ambient, kind of like psychedelic dream pop.
Yeah, it's just like there isn't enough like stimulus in the music, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
it's
like
too sleepy almost.
Yeah. But it's good. It's good. It's solid, well-made music.
I kind of felt that way about the new Gorillaz album. God, what was it called? I don't know. The new Gorillaz album was kind of unforgettable. I considered that
kind of unforgettable or forgettable.
Forgettable.
Okay.
Just because even though I liked a lot of the Gorillaz older stuff, but this new one just didn't have like the sonic diversity that I've come to know and love from like Gorillaz albums, like where they're just genre hopping. It's like, okay, this is like reggae, and now it's like trip hop, and now it's like just like a dude rapping, and now it's like rock, and now it's like dub, and now it's. But I digress. So my honorable mentions. I know we already covered Janelle Monáe and Andrew WK, two really solid albums. But I had No Name Room 25 on there. I really liked the instrumentation.
I haven't listened to that one.
The instrumentation on that album is so jazzy.
It's
and
great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the things they remind me a bit of like T-Pab a little bit too.
Really?
Especially with like some of the lyrics and the consciousness of it and like the
Yeah.
way. But
That's
she also I like her flows and stuff too. Another album, U.S. Girls in a Poem Unlimited.
I tried that one out. Wasn't a big fan.
Really?
Yeah,
I think it was very groovy album.
Did you try the Sorry to interrupt. Did you try the Sons of Kemet album out, Queen Reptile?
No, I didn't.
I thought that was pretty good. Continue.
The new Jack White album, Boarding House Breach. That was good.
I couldn't do that one either. I didn't like it that much. No.
The Let's Start a Corporation. That's a good song.
I'd listen to it again though.
Yeah,
I was at work. I was listening to it from my crappy speaker. I need to listen to it again.
The Idols album, Joy is an Act of Resistance. I thought
Really, you liked that? I didn't like that.
I thought it was pretty good.
I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't like it.
I thought I liked some of the instrumentation there. It was like really that first song, Colossus. That song's really good.
You liked that? I didn't like any of that album.
It just starts off like the most dark, brooding, and then it just goes like straight like punk. That's good. And then also my last honorable mention, the new Caro Bonito album, Time and Place. I really liked their album before this, Bonito Generation. It was just like really bubbly and this kind of like marshmallowy. But then the new album, it definitely has a lot more like sonic flavoring, and they moved away from like that J-pop like aesthetic. What are you doing, bro?
I don't know.
Like,
you know what I was doing earlier? Look at this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Mom, can
Yeah,
I have my
yeah.
PSP Vita?
Okay, Miss Greenbacker, I'll be good. But yeah, that's basically it. Those are my honorable mentions. So if you want to go into our number one picks,
Our number one for me is one that you guys all had in your top three is Yay by Kanye West. I think
Yeah.
this song kind of, for one, it might be up so high because it's like a little bit of a sentimental pick, but it really just like defines the summer for me. And like when
I
I was
know what you
listening
mean.
to it,
Summers are great.
it takes me back to the summer. Like the summer was a good time, you know. It reminds me.
they're playing ping pong at Mimi's house.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, ping pong.
Bro, I'm thinking about Mimi right now.
Mimi,
Don't get me started about
bro.
Mimi, bro.
Oh my god, bro.
Bro, now I'm thinking about Poppy.
Poppy be like,
Yeah, this is Poppy. Do it. Poppy, what you doing there? That's a friend Kai's grandpa.
shouts out, Poppy. Pee 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 bo bo bo.
Yeah, but this album is just like really, really well produced. And it like.
Wait, I got it. Don't worry. I got it. Keep going.
Okay,
Keep
it's
going.
it's something that you guys touched on, but it kind of transitions throughout the course of the album from kind of serene. No, it transitions to serene from like very aggressive and like hard hitting at the beginning with I thought about killing you, which is like it's a very aggressive sentiment, and then goes to yikes, which is very hard hitting,
Yeah.
and it just goes gradually. It kind of evolves into a kind of serene, peaceful, violent crimes.
That's a yikes from me.
I think that the opener, I Thought About Killing You, was really a great, like, just kind of, it's really kind of a great gate into Kanye West's, like, mental state at the time, which was, like, a little bit crazy, but,
Medulla oblongata.
yeah, he was able to really figure out and, like, make it, like, a great track still, even though having to live it with all his mental insecurities or whatever.
Yeah, and I think the transition from as aggressive as you could get to kind of very, very peaceful and calming, I think that kind of just it's an exemplification of his bipolar state, which is kind of the focal point of the album. And again, there's typical Kanye lyricism
We wouldn't be here without cum. I thought people were like, "Oh, it's so juvenile." Like, that's
yeah, it's like don't worry about the outcome. None of us would be here without cum. Like, that's
it's
so
like,
good.
That's hard.
Because I can focus on both your titties at once.
Yeah.
What?
Are you guys down for Applebee's after this?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, maybe.
Okay.
All right.
I'm doing honorable mentions. That's because I literally did not listen to enough music this year. I wish I could have, but like.
Wait. Oh.
I don't have any.
We talked about this
either.
before.
If I just like honestly like a lot of the ones on my list I feel kind of bad. Like I just like started listening to this week because I knew that we had to make our top 10 albums. But next year when we do this, I promise I'll be more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do shut to do
So
it.
what was your number one?
Oh, did you do your number one already?
Yeah, that was
That was
Okay.
what he just did. Yeah, we're not like finished up or anything. So your number one
Sam,
was.
your number one.
I'm
what
sorry.
was your number one?
My
Sam?
number one was "You're the Snitch" by Death Grips. Yeah, I don't know. Every time Death Grips uses an album, I end up absolutely head over toes, or that saying is loving it.
Head over heels.
Head over heels, loving it. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, loving it. And the reason why this album, I think, was just so amazing was because, like, I mean, Jared touched on this a little bit already, but yeah, it's just like a dark descent into madness. Like, do you guys remember playing like in elementary school where you play that game where like Mrs. Patterson would bring out that big tarp and then we have to shake it and the kids come grab your legs and pull you under?
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what the album.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like what what's it, the Daughters album sound like to me. Like Death Grips just doesn't really do it for me. I don't understand really your guys' obsession with them, to be honest. Like they're like very like.
It's because
It's
like
because he's colorblind.
it's because I think Daughters is really the kind of like subtle like creeping dread, but like Death Grips is just like you're in your face, just like
it's ostentatious.
Death Grips is like. Right, you know, like the feeling you get from like a jump scare where you have like that rush of adrenaline for like it's a split second, and you're like, it's like, or even how you were when I ran in front of the car and you're just like, whoo! It's like that, like drawn out for the duration of the album. But Daughters is just like a creeping fucking like pit forming in your stomach, like when you know something.
Yeah.
It's
something's
like,
off. Something's,
yeah, something off.
It's
you
like
can't explain.
something's like unsettling. It's like the album, the Daughters album it just sounds like a mental breakdown.
Death Grips is like horrifying. Daughters is like terrifying, if that makes sense.
And
like,
what
the difference between horror and terror.
And I'll touch up on it a little bit more because it's my number one album. To be honest, a lot of time I don't listen to Death Grips lyrics. Like, if I want to, I'll read into them. Like, there's certain songs where I feel the need to read into them, but it's also like some of the most high-octane music that's really out there.
Half of what everybody's saying
good.
is just screams.
Yeah,
they're good workout albums, so I'll give you that for Death Grips.
Yeah, Ex-Military is a great workout album.
Yeah, but it's not easy to listen for some people. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Your number one album?
My number one album was Wide Awake by Parquet Courts.
Yeah.
It was your number one?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my God.
It was
This
supposed to
album.
be. It was really good. I'm not surprised.
What, Kush? You like something, bro?
Wait, this is crazy. I can't believe it's your number one.
You had an emotion to an album just now,
Okay.
bro?
I know, that's crazy,
What?
bro. What?
So your thing.
My brain is running at like 8 gigs of RAM, bro. What's yours running on, bro?
Go on, Joe. What are you gonna say?
No, say your thing, and then I'll tell you why I don't really appreciate the social commentary.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off first with the instrumentation. I think the instrumentation on this album is sublime. Especially the bass lines.
I agree.
The bass lines are
are
so
good. Yeah.
fucking good.
Yes.
In Total Football, in Freebird 2, in pretty much every song that there is bass, the bass line is good. They're melodic. They're like the perfect like counter melodies to everything. They're great. The drums, they're punchy. They're tight. Danger Mouse's production was great on the album.
Like the drums.
Yeah, I know. I think the songs like Total Football, great. Violence is great. I think the lyricism, even if you don't agree with like the general idea, it's incredibly well put.
No, okay.
The lyricism.
It's not that I don't agree with the idea, and it's not that like I'm arguing with. Like you could probably say it's well put, but I don't know. But the point, like, when you really boil it down and you strip away how they're saying it, what they're saying is not really that.
Well, all right. Well, let me get into like exactly what that is. So, like the whole like ethos and mentality of the album is like, how to say this without seeming corny in Jared's eyes. It's like becoming aware of like the spectacle that this like society puts on to try like uphold itself. And like dealing with like the crushing nihilism that realization often comes with, and how to overcome that. That's like one of the themes of the album. Others are just like growing up in poverty and like differences between this and like how aloof like the wealthy are from like people who aren't wealthy. I don't know. And I will say, I just want to read one of the lyrics from the song Violence.
I think I know what it's gonna be, and
I could just read the whole freaking thing. All right, one of the parts.
I don't read all of it, but
yeah.
Read a little excerpt.
Violence is the fruit of unreached understanding that flowers from the lips of scoundrels. It is a force so dense and rooted in our past, and it tempts us to become lost in its darkness. And this is the best part. And stinks like the piss test you were just forced to take, just before you were told that you didn't meet the standards of integrity that this organization strives to maintain.
You don't that? You don't think that's rich, Jared?
No, it's listen. Okay, it's good. It's well put. When you really boil it down, what they're saying is just like anyone who's like slightly above like normie would have like the same types of critiques of society. You know what I mean? Like it's like society's kind of trying to control us, bro. Like they're trying to like.
Bro, you say this shit literally every time you meet up, though.
No, I know, but it's like, but like that's why I think it's not that like impressive that they're saying it. It's because like it's stuff that like us like we would say to each other. You know what I mean? Like. I want if it's really that incisive, it's something that like wow, like.
Well, I don't think that.
But even then, like that's not even like my biggest appeal. Even if it's something that I've thought for a while or that I already agree with, like I said, it's incredibly well put.
It's well put. It's well put. But
that's where the biggest part of my appeal from.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's like society's kind of trying to control us. They're trying to like numb our basic humanity. Like it's like. It's things that aren't really that profound when you really boil it down. You know what I mean?
But then again, it's also one of those things that like someone says it and then everyone just forgets about it, and then the next time someone says it again, I still think it's great. Definitely listen.
It's a good album. It's a very, very, very good album.
And now
In and Out of Patience / whatever the second.
How to Start a Fight.
How to Start a Fight. That moving into Freebird 2.
Oh, that's really good.
Freebird 2 is so good.
It's a good album.
Great album.
Sixth best of the year.
And I don't want to make it seem like like it's just about social whatever it's called.
Commentary.
It's also like just one of the best music albums.
It sounds
like I
good.
said,
It sounds
the
awesome.
instrumentation was great.
Yeah,
Danger Mouse's production has worked great on this. But also I just want to say some other albums that I wanted to listen to this year, but I couldn't.
Before you do that, my last thing on Wide Awake, I just want to reiterate it. It's something that I said over text. So like, I just think it was well put, my commentary of Wide Awake, that I said, you were like, oh wow, it's like so woke or whatever, and I said, well, it's woke relative to the masses, but in reality, parquet courts are still in a somnolent fugue state. You
said that earlier.
Yes.
I never said it's so woke. I didn't even say that. I said it was good. I said, well, it's so woke. All right, no, but there were some albums that I wanted to listen to this year, but I didn't end up listening to, and I feel like I should have. So I heard the new 21 Pilots album was really good. I heard a few songs off of it. I know 21 Pilots, they've had some, like, in my opinion, some like decent songs. Mm-hmm. They like blew up with their last album. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's so good." It wasn't that good.
It wasn't that good.
It was like a 5 out of. It had some good songs. I'll admit, it had some good songs.
Yeah.
That were kind of ruined by like weird production choices, in my opinion. Though, but another album, that Voids album, The Voids. It's like Julian Casablancas from The Strokes. It's his second band that he's like made. I heard that was really good. I only listened to like one song off of that too. The Tropical Fuckstorm album, A Laughing Death in Meat Space. I want to listen to that. That sounds really cool. There's JPEG Mafia. I need to listen to that one too.
I listened to it yesterday.
Earl Sweatshirt. I want to listen to.
You gotta get onto that, bro. That was.
And then there's that Haru Namuri album, like Hardy Yosuka or something.
Oh, that's like the Japanese one?
Yeah, I listened to a bit of it, but yeah, I thought overall this year was a really solid year for music.
It was good.
I was about to ask you guys that, like the grand scheme of things, like how would you guys rank it amongst the other years?
I don't think the highs were as high as a bunch of other years, but there were a lot of very, very solid albums.
The average was higher than
There was a lot of really solid albums this year. Better than 2017. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
2016 was a really good year. 2017 was all right. 2018 was.
2016 is great though. Like between
because there's Radiohead.
Radiohead and David Bowie.
There's David Bowie. There's
everything.
Jeff Rosenstock.
Yeah.
Everything was stuck in 2015.
Well, yeah, but 2015,
But
2016.
I heard about it.
No. But like on Apple Music, it's listed as 2016.
Well, on Wikipedia, it's 2015.
Okay.
So where'd Sam go?
Sam wanted to talk about art versus the artist a little bit, so we could get that going.
Bro, you know what's crazy? This dude Jake called me from like a Glastonbury number.
What?
Yeah, because he called me on a bunch of different numbers. He called me on a Glastonbury. It was like
we should probably cut this part out.
Okay, but anyways, the artist.
Sam, my new phone. I found it in Glastonbury.
Okay, so like real quick, we'll do art versus artist, and then your hypothetical, and then wrap it up.
because like
it's
we don't
getting
have time.
late.
Yeah,
And we have to make some cuts in this too, like shorten it down. All right, cut. All right. You want to start art versus artist?
Oh shit! Sorry. So art versus artist.
So I'll say it. So
bro, you just asked if I wanted to start.
Oh, sorry. So Kanye West was high on a lot of our lists. And as you know, he's a very controversial. He kind of splits societies on both ways. Whether it's like people say, "Oh, he's canceled," like it's problematic to listen to his music.
I hate the
hashtag cancel.
There are a lot of
anyone who says that.
There are a lot of words that people use that I really hate.
Throat.
I hate problematic. If anyone says problematic, like I automatically discount what you're saying. Like
yeah.
But yeah, so
it's just such a buzzword. Like even what you're actually saying might be completely true. Just the way you phrase it, it's like I just tune out immediately. You know.
Yeah. Like anyway, Kanye West. What are you guys' thoughts on him?
Oh, okay. So what I was gonna go on to say is that Kanye West is probably one of the great. Well, I think he's the greatest rap producer of all time.
Yeah, probably.
And probably one of the greatest rappers of all time, like top 10. I don't know about top 5.
I think he's a top 10 musical artist of any genre.
Yeah, maybe because it's not necessarily like him rap, because there are definitely people who could rap better than him.
Yeah.
Even Kendrick raps better than Kanye.
Yeah.
He's like
Kendrick has much better like lyrics and wordplay, but
the music sounds better.
Yeah, I don't know, just Kanye, like the stuff he brings to the table, and even it's funny because you had said it before, and then as I was looking at like the Genius annotation thing on what song was it on Kids See Ghost? I forget, but the thing it came up with was like, he sampled some old ass like jazz big band recording.
Yeah.
And like the lawyer for that guy's like estate, he had to ask permission, of course. And he was like, yeah, the lawyer himself is just like, yeah, I don't know how Kanye fucking found this. Like, either he's like has like the greatest like memory retention in the world, or he has like a team of people helping him like pick out every single sample. Because the samples he brings are just so fucking obscure and out the ass.
Yeah.
But they always fit perfect like jigsaw pieces. Into the rest of the song. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I think people just really they need to like separate like what a person says and like when they're actually like putting something out.
Yeah.
For like when they're an artist, you know.
Because
what I
like
mean?
the big thing right now is R. Kelly. R. Kelly.
I'm
not really that well versed.
He's like a sex cult leader now, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean
That's
obviously
crazy.
we know that he like peeing on girls or whatever back in his day, and
Chuck Berry did too. Fun fact.
Yeah, I mean, so did every great artist ever. So did Tom York, but. But like I think that separating the artists from like separating the artist from the art is something that has to be done.
Yeah. Is there a point where you guys maybe draw the line?
No.
You think so? Like,
I mean,
are you guys okay with like Kevin Spacey? Are you guys okay with?
Well, okay, so it depends. Okay, so I could be like, all right, this movie is a good movie.
Yeah.
Like Baby Driver. I could be like, okay, Baby Driver's a good movie, and Kevin
American
Spacey,
Beauty.
And like Kevin Spacey had a good performance, but like, fuck what he did. You know, Still, I can still see that. Unless the art that he's making is literally like, yeah, fucking kids is so cool. I love fucking kids.
Right. I mean, then it probably wouldn't be a good song, you know, but or like a good like movie or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if that's their message, it's probably not going to be a good thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess.
Like, because a lot of
but think about it. Like, what if someone like it could be like the most like the best score and the most masterful delivery and stuff like that, and like great camera work and like cinematography and like everything else. Like if it weren't for the message, this movie would be like a 10 out of 10. But like the message is just fucking kids is okay. So
okay, yeah. Like what's the Nazi Triumph of the Will? That thing. It's like it like was very like influential to the way things were shot. Like the final shot of Star Wars or whatever is like a direct copy. Like when the like you know like
is
when,
that
when
like a Nazi propaganda?
Yeah, it's like it's like a direct copy of the Triumph of the Will.
Yeah, so you could be like, yeah, this thing is like the message behind this is objectively horrible, but there's still value to be taken from it even then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like that's something that I wouldn't then like
even from like a historical standpoint, like some of the worst leaders in history, like some of the like worst leaders like have like some of the greatest battle tactics of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I get what you're saying.
There's value to be taken like in almost everything, and like and there definitely is. What was that thing? Fucking amazing banana ass atheist said.
What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, the
amazing atheist.
He was just like, you know, people are talking about like 6ix9ine and stuff. Like, if someone who's like can make like someone who's like so damaged and awful can make such a good piece of art, like isn't there then more value in it? And like I kind of agree with him there. Even though like
he was talking about Charles Manson.
Oh yeah, because Charles, even then like the songs Charles Manson released, they're kind of good.
Yeah, because it's like
Look at Your Game Girl is actually a good song.
His argument was if someone who's like has like this dark side or whatever and like has like murdered people or whatever like comes out with this like very beautiful song, like doesn't that kind of make it like more kind of I don't know
meaningful?
Artistic?
Yeah, no, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Even all right, you have an artist like 6ix9ine who like I'm not even a fan of at all. I kind of think his music is ass.
I like him personally.
He's just like really ostentatious and flashy. But like even then like you could still like find I don't know, just because like he did some shitty stuff doesn't mean you can't like his songs now. Even with like XXX Tentacion was a really big one. Even though some of the shit he did is absolutely appalling.
Putrid,
Like he beat up his pregnant girlfriend and stuff like that. Like, he's just like he almost like killed some guy in jail because he thought he was gay or crazy shit like that.
He held like his girlfriend like against her will, like basically like kidnapped her and like wouldn't let her leave and stuff like that, and like tortured her basically.
Absolutely like awful shit.
Yeah.
Like you're going to hell type shit. Yeah. But that doesn't mean like that his music is all of a sudden bad.
And I'm not saying like if someone does something bad and they're like an artist, like they shouldn't be held accountable for their actions.
No, absolutely
it's
not.
Just like you can say like, oh yeah, this is a horrible action, but like this song that they made is a good song or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like it doesn't mean I support that. I could be like, oh man, wow, this is a really good song. It's really good. That doesn't mean I'm like, oh yeah, but that means I'm okay with fucking kids now. Like, no, of course not.
Like back to the Triumph of the Will, like Nazi propaganda thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you could be like, yeah, like obviously like Nazism fucking sucks. Like, but it's
yeah,
like,
it's like absolutely horrible.
but like this artistic, like kind of cinematic angle that they took or whatever was a good angle. You know?
So to sum everything up, I think that we could all say that Bobby Shmurda needs to be freed from prison.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that-
Was it 2020 he's coming out?
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
He's running for president that year too.
He better.
No, he's not. So why would you buy hypothetical?
Yeah, so we're just
All
gonna-
right, so wrap it up.
We're just gonna wrap it up. Sam's gonna give a quick hypothetical. We're gonna discuss that a bit.
Try to
and
be a
end the
segment.
podcast.
Yeah, this is gonna be a segment that I try to do every podcast. Hopefully, if I can think of a good question. I'm known for my hypotheticals. I'm always able to ask a cool question that gets people thinking. So the question today is, if you were to have the choice to lose either all of your emotions or all of your senses, like sight, hearing, or smell, which one would you choose to lose?
I think I'd rather. I think I might rather choose to lose all my emotions, because if I lose all my senses, like I'm just gonna be like screaming inside of myself all the time, and like you won't even know what's happening, because you can't feel, you can't smell anything, you can't taste anything, you can't see anything, you can't hear anything.
Yeah,
it's like you're literally just like living in like concrete.
Yeah, at least like if you're in if you lose all your senses, or if you lose all your emotions and you have all your senses, like
You
you're
still function
you're like a sociopath.
You're just like
Yeah. I'd rather be a sociopath than like
be a
someone that
fucking
is
vegetable.
like,
Yeah.
Honestly.
like an actual like borderline, not even a living thing anymore.
Yeah, like
you're just like trapped in your own mind.
You're literally just like, yeah. I don't know. I'd much.
I asked that question to my dad, and he agrees with you guys that he would rather lose his what was it? Us
Senses.
Emotions.
Wait, what was it?
No, we'd rather lose our emotions, keep our senses.
Yeah.
Well, is that what you agree with?
No, my dad agrees with you guys that he.
No, yeah, but what's
What
your take
is
on
your
it?
stance?
Oh, okay. Well, it's tough because when you think about it, the senses are what gives you the emotions, you know?
Right.
So, that being said, I think I'd rather keep the senses, because if you don't have the senses,
Yeah.
then like you're just a prisoner of your own
Right.
mind.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
yeah.
there's no way to communicate with anybody really if I can't touch you, if I can't smell you, if I can't see you, or if I can't hear you.
You can't even kiss me, bro.
Yeah. Of course, there'll never be a situation where that actually happens, but it's interesting to think about.
That's probably gonna be really sorry. Keep
Don't
going.
worry about it. But then like I was talking to one of my other friends, and she said that she would rather lose, she would rather lose her emotions than her senses.
So she would.
No,
Yeah.
she'd
Oh,
rather,
yeah,
lose,
yeah,
she'd
lose
rather
her
lose her
senses.
senses
Thank
than
you,
her
Jared.
emotions.
Well, then she's
Yeah.
really fucking stupid.
She's gonna listen to that. She's gonna be happy you said that about her, Jackson.
Well,
yeah.
he
Well, I don't-
he
I
didn't
don't
say
know.
your name. We don't know who you're
I don't
talking
know
about.
who she is.
Okay,
But,
well, it was my mom. I'll say it now, but no, I'm just kidding. But she
Yeah, I feel bad if it was.
no, she told me that she would rather like wait, what? This is such like a hard like thing to like
Yeah.
even, like wrap
She
my head
said
around.
she said she would rather keep her emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she
And lose all her senses.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
yeah.
That would be even worse to like have all your emotions and still have like no senses
Because
though.
the thing is, that's all it's gonna lead to you is like
You're being like really really depressed and like in a state of
You'll just
complete
be-
anguish and agony. Like
yeah, you'll just be screaming all the time, and you can't
Yeah.
even kill yourself. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
That's
You don't know how-
literally I have no mouth and I must scream.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
quite literally what that is.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, maybe this whole entire like place of absolute numbness is actually kind of rehabilitative, and like because nothing bad could ever happen to you. Really, like, you don't even know how interactions happen.
I can't even imagine having no senses though.
Like, isn't that
that's
crazy to think
that's
about?
Like, that's like
It's just-
actually
it's just a
hell.
thought.
Like yeah.
But like you don't know a world outside of you. Maybe there's nothing to perceive really, so that doesn't really make you ever sad.
Emotions are cool though.
I don't know, because you have to know that there's something in front of you to be sad that you can't see it.
Jared said like a true fucking computer. Emotions are cool.
Did you hear what I said, bro? It was cool. I said.
I think I did.
Yeah,
Say it again, though.
You have to be able to see what's in front of you, or like know that there's something in front of you to be able to perceive it, and know that you can't see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if you can't see it in the first place, and if you don't know what's there, then there's nothing to be sad about. So maybe you know.
Oh, I
Like,
get it.
isn't that a cool twist on that argument?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So you're just like yeah.
so
So if you didn't have any of your senses, maybe you wouldn't have any emotions
Yeah.
either.
yeah, or maybe you would, but like they wouldn't. Be
Yeah, but
like,
then
so sad.
you're lost of then you have neither. So like I'd rather at least keep some than have like none.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So just
Right.
just
Because
lose my fucking
because if you
emotion,
don't if you don't have your senses, you probably won't have any emotions either.
Yeah.
Because you'll just be like you're like you're brain dead at that point.
thing
like
is not
actually-
having any emotion, like there's going to be some point where that's going to benefit you greatly.
Yeah.
You know, like where you're just gonna have like no fear. You can just do shit.
Yeah.
Like that'll happen to some people in the future, I think.
Well, I was watching this documentary for my psych class where it's like, society, like capitalistic society. This is a very like, radical thought or whatever, but capitalistic society kind of benefits. It kind of endorses and it allows for like psychopaths and sociopaths to get to the top, and it kind of whatever.
Yeah, I understand. No, yeah, because it goes along with like Marxist theory of alienation. By the way, I think that's the thing that Marx was most right about, theory of alienation. I think the other shit was fucking gobbledygook. The theory of alienation, I think is pretty true.
I can't think of the word I was thinking of. It like I don't know. It basically like it endorses sociopaths and encourages that behavior.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to be kind of like callous to get to the top.
Yeah.
And like ignore your fellow man type of thing, So that's the
Well,
podcast, guys.
Yeah,
That's it. All right.
See you later. Peace out. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. See ya. Bye. I'll see you. What's up? See ya.
What's up?
Bye.
Bye.
Is it done? Stop recording?
No, I'm gonna stop it though.
Stop it!
Peace out.
Audio amigo, first episode of